Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be another foundation review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. If you guys are new here, I do have oily skin, especially in my T-zone. I also have sensitive skin and acne-prone skin. I'm going to be doing a 10 to 12 hour wear test with this foundation, seeing how it holds up on my oily skin, because that is the true test for me, because hardly any foundations I ever try actually last on my skin because I am so oily. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So if you guys are interested in seeing how this brand new foundation works out on my super oily skin, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I got the shade Custard 22, and in this, I ordered this online because my Sephora does not carry this in stores. So this is what the bottle looks like. I thought it was gonna be glass, but it's actually plastic. Then also with this foundation, you are getting a nice pump, which is awesome. I love when foundations have pumps. I don't like dumping them out onto something or like on the back of my hand. It just makes it a lot easier and less messy with a pump. This foundation was $40 and it has 1.18 fluid ounces, so you are getting a little bit more foundation in here than you are in a standard foundation bottle. Usually the standard is 1 fluid ounce, so you are getting a little bit more, which is also nice. She also came out with 30 shades, which is pretty good for a first foundation launch, and when I was looking at the shades online, they did look like they pulled a little bit more of a yellow undertone to them. So of course I haven't seen any of them in person, so I don't know if that's how they actually are, but that's just what it looked like online. So on the website it says that it's a medium coverage foundation, but then it also says it's a velvety smooth liquid foundation that delivers full coverage. I don't know if it's supposed to be medium coverage or full coverage because it kind of contradicts itself on the Sephora website. It also says it's for dry, combination, and oily skin. So this is for all skin types. Like I said before, I do have very oily skin, especially in my T-zone, but right now I am breaking out, so I do have a dry patch right here over this little cluster of pimples because I put some benzoyl peroxide on them. So I do have a little dry patch right here, so we are going to be able to see how this looks over dry patches if you guys do struggle with those. Also says it has a natural finish and it's supposed to diminish the appearance of blemishes, conceal hyperpigmentation, smooth skin, and blur imperfections. And it also says the formula blends seamlessly with the skin using as little as 1 pump. So let's get into trying this out. I'm going to do this exactly how I do all of my other foundation reviews. I'm going to put it on with a beauty blender on one side of my face and then use a brush on the other side of my face. And I'm also going to be using my favorite primer on only half of my face. So I didn't know that Huda actually came out with a primer that's supposed to be used with this foundation until today. It's the first time I saw it, so I wasn't aware of the primer before. If I would have known that, I would have gotten that to test it out for you guys. Okay, I feel like I'm talking a lot right now, so I'm just gonna start putting this on. So I'm just gonna use my Cane+Austin Prime Protect Mattifying Primer. I use this primer every single day. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a beauty blender and I'm gonna put 1 pump on the back of my candle holder. Come here, look at baby. Oh, thank you. You smelled a steak. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. So this is 1 pump right here and it actually looks really thick. Usually foundations like will drip really far, so that shows me that this is probably a really thick foundation. So I'm gonna take about half of that. Dot this around. Ooh, that's pretty light. So that's the one thing that sucks about ordering foundations online, is that I can never tell what the foundation is actually gonna look like. So it definitely is a little bit thicker of a foundation. It kind of has like a pasty feeling almost. It has really nice coverage. You can already see how much redness and my pimples that it's covered up already. So definitely has really nice coverage. I don't know if I would call this full coverage. Okay, so that is with half of 1 pump and it does look really nice so far. I actually do like the color. It is a little bit lighter than me, but it still matches my body. Again, I have the shade Custard 220N if you guys missed it earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my brush now and I'm just gonna take the rest of this foundation and use it on this side of my face. And the brush I'm using is a Morphe E31. I am getting more coverage with the brush. I usually do get a lot more coverage when I use brushes because it doesn't have that extra moisture that the beauty blender gives you. So this side definitely looks super full coverage and it is looking a lot more yellow, like really yellow actually. This side didn't look like that. Okay, so it does look a lot thicker on the skin on this side. Like I can definitely see that I'm wearing foundation. It doesn't really look very skin-like. But just so I can match these two sides, because this one doesn't have as much coverage as this one, I'm gonna add just a little bit more and just try and even that out. So this foundation is a pretty full coverage. I can't see any of my like skin tone through the foundation. Can't see any redness. I can see a little bit of redness on my pimples, but hardly anything. So this is pretty full coverage actually. I don't know, this is a very thick foundation, so if you don't like thick foundations, you're probably not gonna like this because it is very thick. I can definitely see it on my skin. Not saying that it looks bad, but I can definitely see it. But it also does not dry down to a very matte finish. It still feels pretty tacky on my face. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in now and show you guys what it's looking like up close. Okay, so this is what it looks like super up close. You guys can definitely see how thick it is. It's also creasing pretty bad in my chin. My smile lines, it isn't creasing as much, but my chin is definitely the worst. And you guys can also see on the very apples of my cheeks, it looks kind of just like really thick, and it's kind of enhancing my texture on my cheeks. Also on that dry patch I have, it isn't really clinging too bad to that dry patch. I am going to blend out any of those creases and then set my face quick. So hopefully when I set them, those creases will stop, and I'm gonna finish up my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so I just finished up the rest of my makeup, and I actually think it looks a lot better now that I set my face and did concealer and stuff like that. I think it looks a lot softer. I am gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can see what it looks like up close again. Before I forget, it is 3:57 p.m. right now, so I'll call time at 3:45 because I did finish my makeup about 15 minutes ago. I haven't done a flashback test yet, but I am gonna do that right now. Okay, so I didn't get a flashback, which is awesome. I hate when foundations do that. Okay, so this is what it looks like up close again after all my makeup is done. I do think it looks a lot better. I don't think it looks as thick as it did before, and I don't think my texture is as noticeable. It isn't creasing in my chin as bad, but it still is creasing, and it is starting to crease a little bit in my smile lines. It looks pretty good over my dry patch. I don't think it's enhancing it at all. It also is not kicking up in the sides of my nose, which is really nice too. So besides it starting to crease a little bit in my lines, I am kind of liking how this is looking on my skin. It's definitely not my favorite foundation. I wouldn't go that far. I do like the coverage it has. I just don't like how thick it is, and I don't enjoy the creasing so much. So the real test will be just to see how long it holds up on me. Okay guys, so it is 8:38 right now. So it's been about, what time did I finish? It's been actually exactly 5 hours, and I am getting a little bit oily, but it's nothing crazy. Mostly just getting oily like right here and then right in the center of my forehead, but it's honestly really not bad. It's creasing the most of my chin, and then in the very corners of my nose, it is starting to look a little bit cakey because I am getting oily, and it's kind of like starting to break up the foundation in the corners of my nose. My forehead is a little shiny, but I don't think it looks bad. It just looks like dewy kind of. It's also kind of separating a little bit on my upper lip and then right in the center of my chin. I don't know why only there, because it's not really separating anywhere else. Okay. For being 5 hours, I'm really not that oily at all. Usually after like an hour or two, I'm like an oily mess with most other foundations. So it isn't terrible. But yeah, like I said, other than it creasing right around here, basically from like here up, I think it looks good. But just from here down, I don't know what's going on. It's separating and creasing. But everywhere else, I think it looks pretty good. The 10-hour mark would put me at 2 a.m. So I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Okay guys, it is now 1:37. So we're finally at the 10-hour mark, and I'm super oily right now. I am going to zoom you guys in so you guys can see what it's looking like up close. But just looking in the mirror right now, I probably won't be wearing this foundation again unless I'm only wearing it for a very short period of time, since I am so oily. I started getting really oily at about the 5-hour mark. But not only that, it's also separating really bad on my skin right now, especially my chin and my nose. Actually everywhere, it's separating really bad. It'd be different if I was oily but it wasn't separating coming off my face. Like the Fenty Beauty foundation, I was very oily, but it didn't separate on my skin at all, and it didn't come off at all, so I was able to blot it and it looked totally fine. This is different because it's just like coming off my face at this point, and it just doesn't look attractive. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in now. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's just completely coming off like my nose, and it looks really cakey and separated all around like my cheeks, my nose, my chin, and my forehead is really bad too. You can see it's creasing really bad in my chin, and my dry patch looks awful. And then on the sides of my nose, it just looks super, super cakey, and it's also coming off a lot like on my lower jaw. And usually I don't have a problem with my forehead looking bad, but it actually looks pretty bad, which I'm actually surprised at. I am going to keep trying this foundation out like I always do. I'm going to try it with different primers. I am going to purchase the Huda Beauty primer that's supposed to be used with this foundation as well. I'm going to try different setting sprays, setting powders, everything like that to see if it's going to work for me. And just a little disclaimer, just because this foundation didn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. Everybody has different skin. Just because something doesn't work on me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. So sadly, this foundation is going to be a pass for me. I mean, you guys can clearly see why that is, how it's looking on my face right now. But yeah, so I think I'm just going to end this video here. I am going to take this makeup off my face. It's been on me way too long, and I'm going to get in the bath and go to bed because I am exhausted. It is so early in the morning and I'm just so tired, so I cannot wait to just curl up in bed and fall asleep. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations for foundations that you want me to try out, let me know down in the comments and I will definitely do that. I'm trying to get up as many foundation reviews as I possibly can. I love reviewing foundations because I feel like it just helps so many people out. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see me review. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be this Bare Minerals Pro Foundation. This is the Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next one that I'm going to get up. And yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.